match. Alright, send up, let's win this.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
I'll be honest. I honestly did not think I'd end up playing the Infinite Warfare beta. I had the code for last weekend, and I never redeemed it. And then this weekend came around, and I still hadn't downloaded it yet. And I said to myself, man, I don't know, but I paid my $5 pre-order. It allows me to play the game before I've got to buy it. Why freaking not? So I'll be honest, it was a pain in the ass. So look at this freaking thing. I'll get into all this stuff. This game is interesting. It was a pain in the ass to get this game going. I'll be honest. PSN was giving me problems. And I guess like some major servers in the U.S. were being DDoSed by somebody or something. I don't know. But man, it was a headache trying to get this game even installed. And then when I finally did, I was getting errors and I couldn't join games. And when I finally said, "Screw it, man! It's Friday." The wife went to bed early. The kid was sleeping. I'm going to grab me some beers and go watch the college football game that's on ESPN. But I gave it one more try, and it finally started working. Of course, I'm like, all right, I'll play the stinking game. So, believe it or not, guys, I actually played this for like 2 to 3 hours. I played like 10 or 15 games, and I did not expect to play that long. All I've heard about this beta, all I've heard about this game is that it's awful. That it's just terrible. Just delete it. Don't even touch it, LP. It's the worst COD that's ever been made. And currently, the worst COD that's ever been made to me is Ghost. It was just boring. Fundamentally, it was okay, but just boring. That or Modern Warfare 3, my most hated. Well, I would say Advanced Warfare past Modern Warfare 3, but man, just an awful game. But yeah, I played it for like 2 or 3 hours, and it was interesting. It was interesting, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the things I liked and the things I don't like. And obviously, this is not a review. I've only played 2 or 3 hours. The gameplay that you're gonna watch is very rusty. My aim is very rusty. It went about as good as what you could expect for somebody who doesn't play a lot of COD anymore. But it was rusty to say the least. It's a couple games chopped together. I think there's 3 maps or something. This map I like this map, and the other one was actually Terminal. Terminal is back again. This is the 3rd or 4th COD it's been in. It's back again, and it's nighttime. It's really trippy. I didn't even know I was playing it the first time I played it. I think this is like my 2nd game ever. And then the Terminal game was like, I don't know, my 5th or 6th or 7th or something like that. A little bit later on in the night. But yeah, man. So, yeah, it's not as bad as what I thought. But yeah, let's get into some details. It's not a review. I'm not an expert on Call of Duty. It's just, I guess you can look at this as maybe a point of view that some of you guys would have as just a casual. And I am in no way trying to get people to play the game or not play the game. I am not an Activision paid, whatever. I guess it's come out that a lot of YouTubers are paid by Activision or whatever. I'm a nobody. Rest assured, this is just me talking. But I'll just kind of go over the basics and kind of give you my first impressions, if you will. And again, my first impression is it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, I want to make this very clear. A very common issue that some YouTubers make is when they're getting good scores, the game is good. And when they're struggling and they're getting their asses kicked, the game sucks. Just kind of pay attention to the COD YouTubers that you like to watch. If they're putting up good scores, they're going to say the game is good. If they're getting their asses kicked, they're probably going to say the game sucks. I'm going to try and be, as I believe I always am, as even as possible. I got my ass kicked a couple times. I had a couple good games. I think my 40 in 5 days are probably behind me. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, a time limit game. I think this was my first or second game. I think this was the only time limit game, and it was freaking 3-on-4. I just had a hard time finding people, but every other game stayed full for the most part after this. But so visuals, not that many people care about visuals. They had an open cutscene when you launched the beta, and I'll be honest, it freaking looked good, man. The graphics looked amazing. For a COD game, are you kidding me? I've actually been playing the Battlefield 1 campaign that went live today, which is Friday, and that game is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in my life. And I'll be honest, the cutscene for COD, really, it was pretty solid. In-game, looks like any other COD game. It really does kind of feel like a Ghost Advanced Warfare type baby. A little bit of Black Ops 3 in there. You know what I mean? But the audio was pretty good. The guns all kind of sound the same to me. I'll be honest. But it was pretty good. Visuals and audios, pretty solid. But I know nobody really cares about that. You care about function. Boots on the ground. You'll see me doing some dancing around, some jumping around. For the maps that they currently have in the game, the space station map, that map is god-awful. I can't stand that map. Most of my deaths come in my back. It's super bad flow. It's super chaotic, but not in a good way. Not a big fan of that map. Then there's this map, which is Terminal, of course. This is Terminal. Looks way different. The layout's the same, but man, being at night is super trippy. And then the previous map I was just on, I think there's 3. There might be 4. I don't know. I'll be honest. There's a little bit of jump shooting and things like that, but there wasn't a lot of wall running. There wasn't a lot of craziness. But again, maybe that was just the people that I was playing against. I was in the same couple lobbies like all night, so maybe I just got lucky with people moving around. There was some campers, and there was a lot of snipers. I don't know if there was a sniper in this lobby, but man, some of the lobbies I played in, it just seemed like 4 or 5 of the other team were snipers and quick scoping. I'll be honest, sniping is obnoxious. Obviously, it's not bad if it's like one person in your lobby, but once you get up like against 2 or 3 on the other team, it's pretty obnoxious. I don't know why they made it so easy. Infinity Ward, they did Ghosts, if I remember, and I remember they made sniping like really difficult in that game. So I don't know why they went back to like super easy sniping. Maybe it's something that will be tweaked. I doubt it. They probably don't want death threats, but. Other than that, everything seemed to be pretty balanced. I'm not a big fan of these specialists. I just don't like them. I just think they're obnoxious. I think they interrupt flow. It's cool using the gun. They look cool and everything, but it's like, then, Joe Schmo, who's 2 and 13, he gets one and he just mows down everybody because all he has to do is hold the right trigger. And there's some laser cannon and some eraser one-shot kill gun, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of specialists, but, I know a lot of people like those because it just adds a little variety to the game. This is the only one I've ever used, and this is the class I've been using, this stock SMG class, because it's got Ghost on it. I don't know why, but I think they actually went back to the old Ghost that works when you don't move. If that is true, it makes me want to go to all the people at Infinity Ward, walk behind each one of them, grab the underwear by the strap, and pull it straight up over their head and latch it onto their forehead. Are you kidding me that you brought back the original Ghost? What are you thinking? I hope that that's not true. I'll be honest, I didn't really pay attention. There was a lot of UAV spam, which there always is at the beginning of these COD games because that's all people have unlocked. And I was like, man, I'm going to run this Ghost class because I just noticed I was getting turned down a lot when I was flanking and stuff. And if that's true, I really hope that that's not true. How obnoxious is that? That's like the 4th time I've used the word obnoxious today. I hope that's not true. But functionality-wise, there was a couple people skipping around once in a while. For the most part, it really wasn't that bad. But, man, connections, here's the thing about connections, guys. I can tell you in this video right now, the connections really weren't that bad. People generally died when I was shooting at them. I had a couple of shoot first and die, but for the most part, it was pretty good. I had a couple instances where my screen didn't turn red. I just dropped dead. But for the most part, it didn't seem to obstruct my game. I felt like I still had a pretty good, fun time. I was killing people at a decent pace. And, it just seemed to go really well. But, man, could it just go 180 on you in your next session? You know what I mean? So I really can't say much about the connections. And shocking, I'm like, almost every game I felt like I was the only guy going positive. I was like, teammates, come on, man, it's the beta. I need some help here. There can't be skill-based matchmaking already where it's putting me by myself. Maybe it's because I run solo. I don't know. I'm always running in teams. But, yeah, I mean, connection-wise, it's just hit or miss. I want to say it went pretty well, but that really, it could change at any point. I can't really talk to you guys about, the different guns that are in the game. I really haven't unlocked that much. All I can tell you about is the feel of the game. It's frantic, it's chaotic, it's super fast-paced. Obviously, you can get into lobbies where people aren't moving a lot and it can slow down. But for the most part, I had pretty quick-paced action. I would say it's actually more boots on the ground than not boots on the ground. But again, I think when people get more used to the controls and stuff, they'll probably start jumping around more if it's anything like the previous games. And, I mean, my overall enjoyment, whatever. Like, it's freaking Call of Duty. This isn't life or death or nothing. It's just, it's a video game, and it's exactly what I expected it to be. Well, it's a little bit better because everybody was trashing it so bad, but it's a futuristic FPS game. I don't really like future games, so it just kind of is what it is, but it's Call of Duty. It feels like Call of Duty. Well, it feels like these new Call of Duties, and it pretty much played that way. If you don't like futuristic games, you're probably not going to like this. If you like COD for what it is, you'll probably enjoy this. And that's about it. I mean, I know that's super simple for only playing the game for 2-3 hours, and we're only in the beta. I mean, there's so much more to discover, but I'm just talking about the here and now, the beta, not what I think the actual game's going to be with, the quote-unquote pay-to-win or pay-to-play or pay-to-unlock cases or whatever, putting real money into it and the case and the supply drops and all that stuff. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about the beta, and that's my review is not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I guess it's that simple. If you played the beta, let me know what you think. I want to know what you think. And let me know what you think about the graphics, how the video looks, all that stuff. And as always, thanks for watching. Later.